not dreaming anymore. All that I know is I'm falling.
Hi, I'm Ines from TV McGill, and I'm here at Club Soda with James Blake. How are you liking Montreal so far?
Raining and
Yeah.
yet nice.
Is it your first time here?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Do you have any gospel influences, like, background?
Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of that kind of stuff, a lot of old R&B, a lot of like Ray Charles and Sam Cooke and stuff like that. And I mean, the gospel side of things, yeah, it was more about gospel piano playing than it was more to do with like the actual harmony used in gospel.
Right.
Like the way a gospel pianist would, the chords that a gospel pianist or a gospel organist would play would be so kind of beautifully complex compared to everything else I was hearing, and it was a way of going between chords really, really easily, and going between key changes and these really nice sort of flat fifth chords, and it was all so interesting to me, and that was kind of a thing that I got obsessed with for quite a while.
So now your music's been very underground kind of, but it's been becoming very popular very rapidly. So like, how do you feel about that, and are you worried that it may become maybe a little mainstream at some point, or do you want to keep it on the down low? Or?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily the music that becomes mainstream, it's the interest.
Yeah.
I don't really care where as long as when I've made the music itself, I suppose it doesn't really matter where it goes to me, if you know what I mean. I suppose my ethos has always been, if I'm proud of something that I've done, then I couldn't care. You know, well, I mean, if 5 million people hear it, then that's only a positive thing. If 100 people hear it, that's just as positive. I mean, you know, it's positive in a different way, especially depending on the venue or the you know, where it's actually going out to, whether it be YouTube or you know, a gig. So.
What do you think of the way dubstep's been evolving? You know, how it differs from your own kind of music?
Well, I mean, I never really said that I was a dubstep artist. I mean, I've had a lot of, I've kind of come out of that scene in a way that I was still a kind of an outsider, really, in that way, because even when I DJ, I would play lots of different stuff. I wasn't ever doing a whole dubstep set or anything. And you know, when I produce, I suppose there are some kind of qualities of like early dubstep in there sometimes. But you know, I think there's people that represent dubstep, you know, in an actual way, whereas I don't think I really do. I think I've kind of come from outside it and still remained on the outside of it, really. But you know, dubstep in general has evolved in lots of ways. I mean, the dubstep you get in, like, I don't know, there's no point in generalising really, but there's been loads of different offshoots of it, and it's largely sort of healthy, kind of like in the same way any genre sort of expands or whatever.
And now your music is a lot slower, I would say, from, you know, most electronic music. You've got those breaks and pauses that kind of break down the melody. So what's the idea behind that? Is there like a specific effect that you're looking for?
No, not really. I mean, when I sit down and write, I suppose I'm just in the mood that I'm in at the time. I might be in the mood to be in my own space, and I don't know, maybe that filters through into the music. I certainly never intended to, you know, those like pauses or breaks or silences or anything like that. And bear in mind, I think I've only done a couple of things that even have those in them, which got kind of made quite a big deal out of. I only put, I don't know, and those were never sort of injected into it. It was more of a thing that
never intentional.
No, I think it was just a thing that happened because I wanted to wait, you know, the anticipation of something, or for my own enjoyment, just to see what would happen, or
Okay, cool. Now you're very young, right? You're 22?
23, a few days ago, turned 23.
Oh yeah, well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
But yeah, so 22. So do you have any advice that you would give to young artists trying to make a name for themselves in the electronic music industry?
Yeah, I think with electronic music, it spawned this amazing way of making music completely yourself. And I think the nice thing about the electronic community is that everyone's kind of encouraging each other to be themselves and to do everything themselves. I think largely once you get to a point where a lot of people are listening to your music, there might be, I suppose at that point you don't need that criticism you don't need that critique anymore. Or you might think you don't, but I think you probably still do. But yeah, just do everything yourself and make sure you're being honest to your own sort of principles in music and what always trying to do new things is to me it's always been more fun making music in a way that I didn't really know how to.
Right.
If you know what I mean. So just kind of feeling around in the dark, really.
What are your plans for the future? Are there like any artists you'd like to collaborate with, maybe?
Not really. I mean, I'd kind of like to collaborate with my band more than any other artist actually at the moment. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about your band, maybe a little bit?
Yeah. No, they're not here. It's nice to be working with two people who I went to school with for a start, and then added to that, they're great musicians, and we kind of gel together in a way that I haven't really had with many other, almost any other people. And yeah, I think it's kind of evolved from two mates who've helped me take some of the sounds out of my tracks and turn them into live things, to becoming more of a collaborative effort. It's now in the songs they're actually kind of coming up with new parts themselves and like being basically making my music better than it was.
Right.
This is the way I feel.
Yeah.
I think they've improved it, not just brought it to life, but improved it. Hi, I'm James Blake, and you're watching TVM.